Okay, so I was watching videos and I made a list of the stuff that I wanted to talk about. So this is going to be a couple of parts. You're going to see this outfit a couple of times because there's going to be a couple of different videos. I have one, two, three, four. I have four videos that I watch, and I usually don't comment too much on videos. But when I comment, I always want to do a video of my own on why I made the comment that I made. But anyway, so I have four, right? So we're gonna muscle test. So I can teach you how to muscle test, kill two birds with one stone. But yeah, teach you how to muscle test while I choose which one we're going to do. So it's four. So is it one? No. Is it two? No. Is it three? So this video, this video is going to be number three. So this is number three. Number three is I only have one face. Like this is literally it. This is pretty much all you get, you know. And you get a lot. But it's pretty much it. I was watching a video and a guy, very well dressed man, was like, oh, he read a Japanese book or he knew a Japanese author that said that everyone has three faces. The face they show the world, the face they show their friends and family, and the face they show when no one's, it's just them, right? And I sat there and I looked at him and I was just like, I pretty much only got one face. Like I don't like, and I know this is like Scorpio vibes right now. I only have one face. Do you know how much work it is just to have this face? Like, why would I have multiple? That's extra work for no goddamn reason. I'm not doing that. I ain't Parker Brothers. Don't play with me. I have one face for pretty much, not even pretty much. I have one face for everything. Now, I have one face, but what comes out that face determines your character. Your character, who you are as a person, who you're aspiring to be as a person. What you get from me, it depends on you. That was crazy. It depends on you. It depends on you what you get out of me. And people are like, oh my God, what do you mean? No, just because you're not my blood family or from my family lineage or whatever, that doesn't mean we're not family. Blood doesn't make you family. Blood makes you related. You understand? And you can't even relate to half the relatives that you have. You understand? So it's like blood doesn't make you family. So that's why I hate when people go, oh, you're like my sister. Bitch, I'm either your sister or I'm not. It's like sister is not, it's not linked to bloodline. It's linked to how that person treats you, how that person shows up for you, how that like you wouldn't read a cookbook if you really wanted to learn math. And for those in the back, please don't do that. Because I know they're like, well, there's measurements in a cookbook. That's not what we're talking about. And you know that's not what we're talking about. You understand? So it's like, that doesn't mean that you're not family because you're not, because you're not related. Does that make sense? But I digress. But I only have one face. What you get out of that face depends on you. I am, and I have receipts. I am the type of person that has nothing to do with being a woman. I'm the type of person that I want to see you win. You and I are friends. I want to see you win. If you and I are not friends, just leave me the fuck alone. Don't fuck with me and you'll be fine. You mess with me, my team in the back is going to handle it. And I don't even have to do anything anymore. And it's weird to not have to do anything. It's weird to not have to worry about getting someone back for something they did to me. I'm just like, whatever. And I let it go. And the funny thing is that everyone that I have come up against that I didn't do anything, because I don't start no smoke. I don't want no smoke. So I don't start anything, but I will finish it. You understand? And then what happens when I would finish it, they would get upset and they would get hurt and they would be, oh, my feelings. I'm a Scorpio. We study you to know how to destroy you. That's what you really don't get. Don't get a Scorpio upset. And then I'm an Aries rising and a Capricorn moon. I am not the type of person to get upset, because when you do that, it sends signals out into the universe that someone's fucking with Keisha. Does that make sense? So when you do that, all heaven is coming for you. Does that make sense to you? There are people walking on this planet that you need to leave the fuck alone. They don't bother nobody. They don't ask nobody for shit except reciprocation and love. Leave them the fuck alone. If they are nice to you, don't cook up some fucked up reason to be mean to them, because what's going to happen is all heaven and earth is coming for you. Does that make sense? And they don't have to do anything. That is for someone who's actually watching this video going, oh, whatever. Okay, that person that you are messing with, I promise you, you need to leave them alone. They are highly protected. They are highly protected. They are highly gifted. And the fact that they're highly gifted and needed makes them twice as much protected. Leave them the fuck alone. Do you understand? And the person who people are picking on you and they're getting on your nerves and all this other stuff, do not waste your energy in trying to get them back. You need to focus on your mission and move on. Because if you focus on them, it is a distraction and a disruption delay. Stop focusing on them and just keep moving forward. Do you understand? They will take care of what's in the back. You don't have to worry about this. You don't have to worry about, oh, I need to let them know. No. As long as they don't put their hands on you in that moment, you can say whatever you want to say. They're entitled to their breath. Let them have it. Does that make sense? They are entitled to their breath. Let them have it. Unless they come in your, there is a energy range where people should not cross. With me, I don't know about anybody else, but there's an energy range. And I tell people all the time, especially when people who, the handsy people that like to move around and jump around and all that stuff, I don't do all that moving. I'm from the 90s. I don't do all that jumping. I don't do all that moving. I don't do all that moving around. Stop moving around me like that. Because what's going to end up happening is something bad is going to happen, because I can feel it building. Like the closest, I've had to tell a couple of people in my life, you need to back up. You need to back up. And it's just like, you can't, no. Like, So it's like, when you do all this jumping around and the person's like, you see the person doing this, that means back up. You're coming into the danger zone where I am allowed to defend myself. Do you understand? Whether you swing or not, I am allowed. I have had this agreement with my spirit team. No one ever again in life will hit me and get away with it. Period. No one in life will ever be able to hit me and get away with it. You won't. You won't. You won't get away with it. You will not. You will not. Do you understand? And that's for someone specific. You need to understand there is no one else. That you need to find that boundary line where you and your spirits have come to an agreement that if this person crosses this boundary line, I fuck them up on sight. Do you understand? It's just it. You understand? Because when you have been abused by anything and anyone, you have to have a I don't give a fuck barrier. Does that make sense? Once they cross that barrier, it's off. It's over. You understand? I don't care who it is. Brother, mother, sister, son, I don't care who it is. And I warn you, you coming too close, back up. Like you gotta back up. And you'll see me, I'll sit on my hands. I'll be like, yo, back up. You understand? I am not a docile person. And if you're watching me, neither are you. The problem with you is you let people too close to you. You let people way too close. There was a reason why when we used to get our ass beat, our parents had to hold us to do it. Does that make sense to you? My parents had to hold us. Me, for some reason, and I'll tell you why. Fuck this. I'll tell you why. My sister was a runner, right? So my sister was a runner. So anytime it was like Carmen was gone, right? I tried that once and my mother fell. She fell and I was just like, oh, I'm going to die. I was like, oh, I'm going to die. She fell and I was like, and she got hurt. And I told you, I've always been this kid. I felt bad that I ran and she got hurt. And instead of she ran and whooped my ass worse than when if she didn't fall. But I was more upset at myself that she fell. Is that something I need to clear? Yeah, but I was more upset that she fell and got hurt, because she's a heavy woman. So when she fell, I was like, oh, I'm dead. I'm dead. And then she got up slowly and I was like, oh, she's hurt. And I was like, oh, I felt like shit. That hurt more than the beating. But anyway, so yeah, I only have one face. This is literally it. Like, you ask people at work, yeah, that's pretty much who she is. Yes, my kids at home or my men at home, they'd be like, yeah, that's pretty much who she is, and I am the same me in private. I really am. I cry more in private, but I'm pretty much the same not even pretty much. Like I said, all I do is cry more. I cry more in private, but you wouldn't see me doing something that I wouldn't do outside. I just didn't. I don't understand. I didn't like that as a kid. As a kid, I didn't like when people would come around and my parents would act a certain way, and I'd be like, who the hell are you? like, wait, who are you? And it's like when I went to church and my dad hugged me for the first time at church. I looked at him like, what are we doing? Like, I was like this. I was like, what are we doing right now? My father wasn't a hugger. All of a sudden he went to church and just started hugging all the time. I got used to it because I liked it, but it's like, what little girl doesn't like being hugged by her dad? But I was like, when it first happened, I was just like, oh shit, what the fuck is happening right now? What's the joke? Like, are you going to say, because my father was a joker. I was like, is there a joke? Like, are you going to make fun of me? What? And then he was just like, stop. And I was like, oh, you're hugging me. I was like, oh shit. That was wild. But I've always been the mom that where I am outside in front of people and inside by myself with the boys. I'll whoop your ass outside. I'll whoop your ass inside. I don't care. They don't pay my bills. They didn't. That was my theory back then. I used to discipline my children, but I didn't beat on my children, but I used to discipline them. I remember I used to just take Matthew and he would be acting up in church. I'd take him in the bathroom, sit him down. I'd be like, are you done? I was like, are you fucking done? And he would just be looking at me and I'd be like, I don't know what my spirits in the back was saying to him, but my dad was like, why every time you take him in the bathroom, he comes back pale? I was just like, I don't know. I just ask him if he's done. And he's like, I don't know, but the boy come back horrified. I was just like, does he? He was like, yeah. I was like, well, he sits still, so you'll be all right. But I didn't hurt him. I didn't hit him. It was just, I would pull them to the side, be like, yo, you good? Like when Jaden used to go crazy when you didn't do a countdown, okay, this is like a side thing for parents or whatever. If your kid spazzes out every time it's time for something like a commercial, if your kid spazzes out every time when it's time for them to go, you got to give them a countdown. Jaden had a 10-minute countdown. Anytime he was doing something really fun, and even times when it was just a transition period, right? I would be like, okay, Jay, 10 minutes. And he'd be like, okay. And because 10 minutes was kind of like what we agreed upon. Was it 5? It wasn't 5. It was always 10. 10 minutes was what we agreed upon because I felt like, plus I'm a scheduled by trade. So plus I felt like it gave him more of a, because Jaden is very intellectual. He is in his brain, he's analytical. So he there was a couple of times I would watch his dad or myself pull him away from something, and he's like frustrated and angry, and it was just cry and all this other stuff, and I used to be like, okay, something's not right. So I would pay attention, and then I was like, okay, he needs a buffer. So I did the buffer, the 10-minute buffer. And I would go in there and be like, Jaden, it's 10 minutes. And then he would be like, okay. So then I would go back, and I would go back in 5 minutes. I would go back in 5 minutes, because you don't give him a 10-minute buffer and check in every minute. You don't do that, because if you check in every minute, you're disrupting it. So I would give him a 10-minute buffer. He'd be like, okay, mom. And then I would come in after 5 minutes. I would be like, Jaden, 5 minutes. And he was like, okay, mom. And then it was always, okay, mom. He would go 5 minutes. Then I would give him a 3 minute. In 3 minutes, I'd be like, okay, you got 2 minutes. And he's like, okay. And then I would go in like 1 minute. I'll be like, okay, Jay, when I come back, it's done. And he's like, okay. And then I would come back. So it's 10, then it's 5. It's a countdown. It's 10, then it's 5. It's not like 10, 9, 8. You don't do that. It's 10, then it's 5, then it's 3, then it's 1, because he has that 1 to wrap up whatever he's doing. And then I'll be like, okay, when I come back, it's over. Has it, I don't remember, is there any time? No, it always worked. It was like an agreement. You know, but I'm a rat, he's an ox, so we get along really well. But it's like, it was an agreement that we like unconsciously had together, that's what we were going to do. But yeah, so you gotta give them that space anyway. But for this video, the moral of the story is have one face. Like, have one face, but control the dial of who gets what. You know, if someone treats you and behaves and shows up for you like a sister or a mother or a father, you give them that respect in that aspect. You give them that energy. It's not about faces. You should be able to be vulnerable with the people that you can be vulnerable with, no matter what area of life they're in. Does that make sense? All right, I love you guys. So this is for this video. See you in the next one. Stay up, stay blessed. Deuces, and we out.